Hi, this is Shui with a review of another Reebok hidden gem. This is the Energon Plus. This is the sequel, I suppose you could say, to the Energon Run. I have a lot of great things to say about Energon Run, especially the fuel foam midsole that's used here. Just because it says fuel foam in the midsole does not mean they all feel the same. The fuel foam used in previous Reebok models did not feel as good as this Energon Run model in terms of stepping comfort and overall shock absorption and cushioning that cradles you as you move along for whatever activity you have. This was a good cross trainer, you might call it. It had really good traction. The base was not crazy narrow, so you had a level of stability, and there was good shock absorption. So I've actually played basketball in this shoe quite a lot, and I've been giving it out to a couple of little brothers in the neighborhood that needs that wouldn't mind having an extra shoe to discard and throw away in a flash because they wear them out quick, and they loved it. They're playing hooping with it, and they feel the same way about it as I do. So now they have a sequel to this. The Energon Plus is certainly a welcome development. At a glance, it looks pretty much identical. That's because mainly it uses the same midsole shape and the same midsole material. So the cushioning is wonderful. It's nicely carried over without any degradation. No upgrades, but well, can't complain. This actually went on sale and it was selling at almost half the price of the Energon Run. Reebok had a special discount event a couple of days or weeks ago, so always be on the what lookout for that. Even the official Reebok website holds a lot of discount promotional events, at least here in Korea. So the first difference between the two, Energen Plus is actually slightly lighter than the Energen Run. For a size 9, it weighs about 285 grams for Energen Run. The new Energen Plus weighs 275 grams for the same size 9. The midsole and the outsole is identical, one and the same. From the back, the upper is the same. The tongue is the one and the same. The difference is you can see there's like additional fused materials around the shoe. As for the Energen Plus, it's plain. It looks like the classic Nike Roches. But looks can be deceiving. It actually provides a better lockdown. Energen Plus actually provides a better lockdown because, as you can tell, this one is more streamlined and flat. The Energen Run is a little bit more bulby, so you will feel a little bit of a extra room and insecurity around the toe box area. I've actually went the distance and put some extra lace loops holes here so that I would have a better lockdown. For the Energen Plus, I don't feel the need to do that because it is actually hugging your foot a little bit tighter, and the toe box is a lot flatter and closer to your foot. So it feels good. If you have like crazy clunky thick toe and foot, you might want to go for the Energon Run. But if you're actually preferring a shoe that forms to your foot nicely, especially these days, there's been a lot of disasters in basketball shoes, whether it's Nike or Reebok, where the toe box area was like really crazy roomy. So this is a nice little departure from that and a good upgrade in terms of that as well. The upper material is pretty much the same. The Reebok logo, this little part is a little bit more thicker. Additional enhanced foamy fused material there. The lace loop is a little different. The Energen Plus has, the Energen Run has a traditional hole, lace loop hole. The Energen Plus has what some would call the speed lacing. The good thing about this type of lacing is that you could pull it at a couple of notches up and you could feel the lace loop tightening from the lower tier, whereas 3 or 4 tier down. So it's easier for you to kind of like, roughly pull it up and tighten your lace loop or nicely loosen it up quickly. But the downside to this kind of system is that once you lock them up, you will feel that it's a little bit tighter at this edge and it gets looser above. No matter how tight you try to adjust it, you always have that sort of like a V form in there. As for this type of traditional lace loop, you can actually tighten certain bits a little differently. You might want to have a little bit looser here, a little bit tighter here, a little bit looser there, and it'll more or less stay the same. So the lace loop system, I feel like the traditional one that works better for me. in terms of adjusting the fit. The insole is another nice little change or an upgrade. The Energon Run Insole, I had a bit of a problem. The material was good. It was a pretty substantial, dense EVA foam, and it worked in tandem with the Energon Run nicely to provide that additional stepping comfort and cushioning. But unfortunately, the top fabric layer was sort of like nylon, pantyhose stocking type of material, so it was like really slippery. So it would not provide that additional grip or groove in comfort that you might want out of the shoe. So this top layer was really a bit of a deal breaker. I actually switched to another insole. But thankfully for the Energen Plus, they rectified that inadequacy by having this sort of like a perforated, more I would say, less nylon, less slippery material. So there's a little bit more traction, and it will form to the shape of your toes and your foot a little bit better. So definitely a good upgrade. So overall, I feel like other than the lace loop, and even that lace loop is not a deal breaker, overall they maintain the excellent midsole cushioning that's been provided with the Energen Run. They carried it over to the Energen Plus, as well as the durable and multi-directional traction that's provided on the outsole of the Energen Run all the way to the Energen Plus. And it actually got a bit lighter, and it actually seems to go on sale and sell a lot cheaper. I do wish they came in more different colors. The colorway, I think it's rather limited, 2 or 3 only, especially if you need specifically men's size or women's size. They're also limited again, so that's a bit of a downside. But overall, great shoe, and hopefully Reebok will continue to make improvements, or at least not try to downgrade the fuel foam that's been wowing me, even more so than the more expensive Cushlon, Lunalon, Light Strike, or whatever foam material that other major brands have been throwing our way and adding a little bit more zeros in their price tag. So Reebok, I think Shaquille O'Neal's company bought the rights to the company, and hopefully Shaq would steer the ship to the right direction and have some pro models of the past, whether it's Sean Kemp or Sean Kemp or Iverson or Shaq himself as well.